before we get into today's show, I want to hear your score predictions for the Christmas Day matchup against the Los Angeles Clippers. So go ahead right now in the comments, comment and predict what you think the Lakers versus Clippers Christmas Day score is going to be. What's up, Laker fans? I know it's been a little bit of a rough patch for us. The Lakers are currently on a 3-game losing streak, and how are we feeling about it? You know, recently we've seen the Lakers now lose to the Pacers, the Bucks, and now most recently the Denver Nuggets. And well, yes, of course, in that Denver game we were dealing with some injuries. LeBron James didn't play, which obviously is a huge factor into why we lost that game. And now we have this kind of injury with Anthony Davis with that knee that he hyperextended in that third quarter that we have to pay some close attention to. He did return to that game, but still looking like injuries are really piling up for this purple and gold team, and we are only about a quarter of the way into this season, so it's definitely not ideal. But you know, we've had a really good run, we've played really hard, and we are definitely starting to see some of these guys getting banged up and stuff. And you know what I have noticed from these past 3 losses? I think the biggest thing that I've really noticed is the fact that the Lakers may need to make a trade after all. You know, I love this team. I think we have a very talented team. I'm very proud of this team, but I think it's just been enough time to tell that we just don't have enough consistent scorers. We don't have those guys who are going to be able to come in consistently and help us on the offensive end. The Lakers have really been struggling, especially from the offensive end, especially from that 3-point range. You know, guys like Quinn Cook, Troy Daniels, KCP, even Danny Green, Avery Bradley, guys who were supposed to be those knockdown 3-point shooters and really help us out there, have not been able to do so at a consistent basis. So it's looking to me like the Lakers are going to need to make a trade for a scorer. If we can't get Andre Iguodala, a good wing defender, then a scorer like maybe Jamal Crawford, maybe make a trade for JJ Redick, or get someone else who could really help us out offensively, because like we've seen in these past 3 games, we can't rely solely on AD and LeBron James. There are going to be nights where either those guys aren't playing well, like we've seen these past few games, or of course that they've been injured like we saw in this Denver Nuggets game. And we have to have guys that are going to be able to rally and help us offensively, and right now it just doesn't appear like we have that. So anything, these last 3 losses really proved to me that the Lakers definitely have some holes to fill. So up and coming this trade deadline, definitely think the Lakers need to pick up a player or 2 to help us out, especially coming off the bench. But even though the Lakers are on this 3-game losing streak, and I'm definitely not happy about it, I'm not quite freaking out yet. We still are the top team in the Western Conference by far. It's definitely helping us out that the Clippers are losing. Also, Dallas has been losing as of late. So we still have that #1 spot in the Western Conference, but still not an ideal situation. This team originally didn't want to lose 2 games in a row, which of course is very hard, but now we've lost 3, so definitely don't want to see those losses continue to pile up. But right now I am not panicking and freaking out about it. But let me know, are you guys freaking out about this Lakers 3-game losing streak? Let me know down in the comments below, because I know just by looking at my Twitter a lot of you guys are, so I'm curious to what your thoughts are about this recent 3-game losing streak. But let's move on and let's talk a little bit about LeBron James and his injury update. Everyone is asking me whether or not LeBron is going to be in that lineup on Christmas Day, if he's going to be healthy, playing on that Christmas Day matchup against the Clippers. And you guys, I'm sorry to inform you, but I just don't know. Right now it is unknown whether or not LeBron is going to be able to return to that starting lineup in time for that Christmas Day matchup. Of course, LeBron missed this most previous game against the Denver Nuggets. We saw the Lakers fall to that game, and they really did miss LeBron. They only had 18 assists in the entire game, when we are currently averaging about 26.2, ranking 2nd in the NBA. So Lakers definitely need LeBron James offensively, and of course just everything. LeBron James is a huge focal point to this team, but unfortunately just no one knows whether or not he is going to be healthy enough to play. So we just all have to keep our fingers crossed that he is going to be in that starting lineup. It's going to be a Christmas Day miracle, and LeBron is going to be able to play against the Clippers, because I know that's been a very heavily anticipated game. Everyone's been super excited, hopefully as a revenge game after losing their first game of the season against the Clippers. So hopefully he's going to be in that game. I really hope so. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but unfortunately I just don't have the 100% answer, so I don't want to give you guys misinformation. But something thing I do have is our LeBron James jersey giveaway. Now in the previous video, I mentioned that we were doing a LeBron James jersey giveaway. So we have the winner and I'm going to be announcing it today on my Instagram. So do me a favor, if you have not yet followed me on my Instagram, go ahead and do so. That is at Hannah Kulik. And then also while you're at it, go ahead and follow me on my Twitter. I always live tweet during all the games and I love talking to all my Laker fam on my Twitter as well. So that is at Hannah_Kulik. But I'm going to be announcing the winner of the LeBron James jersey giveaway on my Instagram later today. So definitely make sure to give me a follow and keep your eyes peeled because you may have just won that free jersey. Now before we move on to some more Laker news and talk about a few potential future trades that the Lakers could be interested in making, I want to also take this time here to remind you guys about our awesome sale on all of our Lakers gear. All of our Lakers items, we've got hats, we've got hoodies, t-shirts, you name it, we have it. It's up to 50% off, and if you order today, you can even get overnight shipping in order to get it here by Christmas Day. So it's definitely not too late to get your family, friends, even yourself some awesome Lakers gear. But definitely make sure to take advantage of this huge discount we have going on right now on all of our Lakers gear. So the links are going to be down in the description below. Definitely make sure to check that out. But let's move on and let's talk a little bit about some potential Lakers trades. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that the Lakers want Memphis Grizzlies player Andre Iguodala. He's the guy that we all have our eyes on. He's that perfect wing defender that we all really want to come and join the Lakers to really help us win that championship this season. But recently, it is actually being reported that another Memphis Grizzlies player may actually be the more realistic option, and the player that the Lakers may actually be looking to trade for after all, and that is Jae Crowder. Now, Crowder has played with LeBron James, and although he is not necessarily going to be shooting lights out from three-point range, he's not going to be really helping us out that much offensively. Defensively, he's actually a really good player, so he can definitely help contribute to this Lakers team defensively, which is of course a big strong suit that Andre Iguodala would also be bringing with him as well. Now the reason that we can't really trade for Andre Iguodala and maybe Jae Crowder seems like a more realistic goal is because Iggy, as we all know, is making $17 million this season. So Lakers just don't have any assets to trade for him because, of course, KCP has that no trade clause and there's no way he's ever going to allow himself to be traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. But Jae Crowder is on his last year of his contract right now. He is only making about $7 million. So two players that could be packaged for him are Quinn Cook and Jared Dudley. We package those players, send them to Memphis, and then those contracts would line up perfectly, which would leave us to have Jae Crowder and really help take a lot of defensive pressure off of LeBron James. He could guard more of the elite scorers in the league like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. So definitely not going to be making a huge contribution from three-point range and offensively, but defensively, Jae Crowder could actually be a nice fit. I don't really know if he's my first choice, but still looking like maybe more of a realistic option, especially if the Lakers want to look to add a guy who would be able to help more defensively. Definitely keep our eyes open because Jae Crowder to the Lakers may actually be something that could very well happen. But speaking of Andre Iguodala, I do have a little bit of an update for you guys, and one that actually may be positive for the Lakers. Now, the Dallas Mavericks have been a team that has definitely shown a lot of interest in Iggy, but recently it's being reported that they are actually not really looking to trade for him now after all. So this could definitely be good news for the Lakers because Dallas, of course, is a team that is one of the Lakers' biggest competitors in the West. So if they were to add Iggy, it would definitely make them have a huge advantage and give them a big advantage in the Western Conference. So now that they are looking like they're maybe not as interested in Iggy, the Lakers can definitely breathe a sigh of relief. But just in general, you know, the fact that Memphis has yet to trade Iggy is still just a really good sign if you're the Lakers. So a little bit of an Andre Iguodala update there for you guys. Right now, one of the top teams who was interested in him, the Dallas Mavericks, is looking like they're not really looking to make a trade for him after all. So definitely a little bit of positive news involving Andre Iguodala and our Los Angeles Lakers. Now we still have a few more things that I want to update you guys on, including giving you guys a little bit of a Lakers-Clippers Christmas Day matchup preview. But before we do, I want to make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Please subscribe. Come join this Lakers Report family. We are growing so fast and I am so grateful. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and come join this Lakers Report family to keep up with all things purple and gold all season long. But let's get into this Christmas Day matchup and let's kind of talk a little bit about this. So obviously this has been the game that everyone has been talking about ever since, really that first game, honestly ever since really the season came out and we found out that we are going to be playing the Clippers this Christmas Day game. This is the day that everyone has really been talking about, but especially since we lost to them that opening night, that first game of the season. This is really the game that I have had my eyes on for the entire season, and I know a lot of people are hoping it's going to be able to be a revenge game for the Lakers, and ultimately in the beginning I really thought it was going to be. I thought, you know what, we are now the better team, we're the best team in the Western Conference, we are dominating. But now that LeBron James' status is unknown, and after this Denver Nuggets game, AD did suffer a little bit of a knee injury in that third quarter. Again, he did return to the game, so it doesn't look like it is too serious, but still, he's definitely not going to be at the prime and on his A game health-wise. I'm not necessarily sure if it's going to be able to be done. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Don't want to be a negative Nancy, but we still can't ignore the fact that the Clippers are a very, very talented team, especially since they are a very talented offensive team. Obviously, they have two of the best players in the league in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They also have the reigning sixth man in the NBA, Lou Williams, coming off the bench, who loves playing against his former team. They also have guys like Pat Beverly, Harold, Andrew Shamet. So they've got a lot of really talented team. They're a very diverse and deep roster. So the Lakers are going to be able to get this win, especially if LeBron James is not playing. They are going to have to do it by committee. They are going to need guys to step up, really play their roles to perfection, knock down their shots, honestly, is going to come down to it, the most important thing. Lakers got to make some threes. They've got to have guys like Danny Green hitting their shots. They've got to have big contributions from Avery Bradley, Quinn Cook if he gets minutes, Troy Daniels. Everyone is going to have to really step up and play their best game against the Clippers if we want to win, if LeBron James doesn't play. But even if LeBron does play, everyone is going to need to step up, especially a guy named Kyle Kuzma, who is now back from that ankle injury. He had a pretty good game against the Denver Nuggets. He was actually moving pretty well. He looked like his ankle wasn't bothering him at all, so it's definitely nice to see that. But we are going to need Kyle Kuzma to step up, really, really help us offensively, be that third scoring option if LeBron doesn't play, be that second scoring option if AD doesn't also play, be the number one scoring option. This is a great opportunity for Kuz to really get back to being that Kyle Kuzma that we were all hoping and expecting him to be. And the Lakers are going to need him in particular to really step up if we are going to want to be able to compete with the Los Angeles Clippers, because they're a very talented team, very deep team like I mentioned. But nonetheless, it is going to be a very exciting game, one that we've all had our eyes on for pretty much ever since the season schedule came out. But hopefully, let's just keep our fingers crossed that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to be healthy and ready to go. I know we all definitely don't want to see this 3-game losing streak getting pushed down to a 4-game losing streak, especially losing again to the Clippers. That would just not be fun. So let's just all say a little prayer that LeBron, AD will be back. We'll have big contributions from Kuzma and Bradley and Danny Green and all of our other guys, and we will finally get the win against the Los Angeles Clippers. But moving on to our final story here today, we got to talk a little bit about Anthony Davis and the fact that actually, the New York Knicks could have maybe potentially been the landing spot for him this past year if the Pelicans would have traded him to the Knicks. Now, at the time when AD was requesting that trade last season, it was reported that, of course, the Lakers were his #1 destination, but also that the New York Knicks, Milwaukee Bucks, and even the Los Angeles Clippers were also a preferred destination for him. AD just wanted to be in a potential chance to win the championship. But recently, Anthony Davis gave a little bit of insight and said that actually the New York Knicks were one of his top preferred trade destinations because, he said he talked to Carmelo Anthony, and after talking to him and really just kind of thinking about it, the Knicks are a very historical franchise. They've got a lot of history there. He thought it would be fun to play in New York, but of course, ultimately, he really wanted to be a Laker, and ultimately that's where he ended up because the Pelicans traded him to the Los Angeles Lakers, which was probably one of the best moments of 2019 for me, just in general, as I'm sure it was for a lot of you Laker fans. So nothing really that huge here, but it just was kind of interesting to see that even though the Knicks have not been very successful these last few years, a lot of players still think that they are a great spot to come and play. So maybe their future will be a little bit brighter, but it's definitely not going to be a future that involves Anthony Davis because he is a Los Angeles Laker, and he is definitely here to stay. Now that is going to be it for today's latest Lakers news and rumors, just catching you guys up on all things purple and gold. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a double thumbs up. And until next time, Laker Hand is out. Bye guys!